Welcome to another episode of Dear Marketer. Joining us today is Shruti Kedia Daga, the co-founder and marketing force behind Nasher Miles. With an MBA from SP Jain and a decade of experience across ICICI, Nestle and Edelweiss, Shruti brings both corporate precision and startup grit. At Nasher Miles, she's led everything from performance marketing to brand storytelling, turning a bootstrapped luggage brand into a 200+ crore powerhouse. From cracking SEO and marketplace ads to pitching successfully on Shark Tank India, Shruti's journey is packed with sharp insights, smart trade-offs and bold moves. Today we'll unpack the story behind Nasher Miles' first 1,000 customers and also delve into the marketing strategies that help them scale their brand. Thank you for joining me in the Dear Marketer show, Shruti. Wonderful to have you here.
Thank you, Harshini. You guys have taken such good care of me and your city is lovely. I'm so happy to be in Chennai and at the Zoho office. Thank you.
I'm glad because I'm interested to know your story. You're building something from the scratch, right?
Correct.
Versus all the other episodes, we are having people who are working for a bigger, larger brand.
Okay.
But here you are building something and you're working for something that you've built. That
Right.
is the excitement that I have for hosting you in this
Super,
episode.
Harshini. I really hope I can add value to the listeners. I'm here to share my story as candidly as possible.
So I'm glad you're the CMO also.
Yes.
Along with the being the co-founder of Nasher Miles.
Correct.
So glad that you're also the CMO and you will be the apt person, I think, to discuss more on marketing strategy from ground up, how you built Nasher Miles to how it
Absolutely.
scaled to being a 200+ crore brand right now.
Yes.
So we'll talk more on that.
Super.
Yeah?
Thank you. Looking forward.
The first question is, I've literally, like I told you, binge watched all your podcasts.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Yeah.
there is a lot of talk about how you guys started the entire, it is a holistic view that you'd shared. In this episode, I wanted you to give us perspective from a marketing standpoint.
Sure.
So first thing, there are a lot of iconic brands already existing in the market. And to have to start a luggage brand again when there is a Skybag, when there is a Tourister, why did you want to start and how did you find that key differentiator for your brand?
Sure, Harshini. So we started, me, my husband, our first cousin, we all kind of left our cushy corporate jobs back in 2014 and decided to start something ourselves. This was a very interesting time for India because e-commerce was just starting.
Okay.
Today we can't think about living in a world without Amazon, Flipkart. By 2013 that didn't exist, it was just starting, right? So in 2014, Harshini, we started off as distributors for online brands, for brands on online platforms, right? So we had the great opportunity to distribute across, say, 100-odd brands across categories.
Okay.
So we didn't touch maybe mobile phones, food and fashion, clothes to an extent, but we've done sunglasses, we've done backpacks, luggage, jewelry, and a whole electronics and lots of brands. So come 2016-17, this business model wasn't making sense because a lot of other large distributors had come.
Yeah.
And it was time to pivot. And as entrepreneurs, you always have to be ready to make that pivot, right?
Yeah.
So it was time to pivot to a private label. And we had this unique insight into sectors.
Okay.
Now we knew we wanted to start something online. And luggage was very interesting. We were distributors for VIP, Samsonite and the likes.
Nice.
And we saw this industry very closely. We also, it was a very interesting time where your shopper profile was changing, right? Your millennials were now shopping. Your Gen Z was getting ready to shop. And none of the erstwhile luggage brands, they were massive. They are giants. They still are. But they were not creating for this online customer back in 2017, right? And the clothes were changing for these customers. The handbags they were carrying was changing, but the luggage still hadn't changed. They were still the black, blue, grays.
Right.
And we saw this unique opportunity where no one was creating luggage for the younger online customers. So that's the gap we identified. And till today, color, design, creating a variety of luggage is what makes us stand apart as a brand, and that's the insight we had back in 2017.
Right, got it. After 2017, obviously when you're starting out, you innovated on design and you brought in that Gen Z aesthetics into your luggage.
Correct.
And all of that with bright colors and options for them to choose from.
Yes.
Now, how did you get so your product design, product innovation is all set. Now, how did you get your first 1,000 customers on board?
So that's the beauty about selling online. That becomes a lot easier, and we did choose an easy path that time. We started off selling on marketplaces.
Okay.
So getting the traffic is Amazon's lookout, is Flipkart's lookout, and that's how we got our first 1,000 customers, Harshini. Luckily, because of the background we had, not luckily, but because of the work we had already put in, understanding how to sell online, we knew the content strategy we needed. We knew once you have the product market fit right, getting the content right is important, and we got those bits right. And getting the first 1,000 customers, we also knew how to advertise online. That was a place we understood. So because thanks to the Indian e-commerce marketplaces is how we got our first 1,000 customers.
Got it. So you're telling me about you understood the content marketing strategy, advertising, and how to kind of, strategize for a marketplace. Can you share a few insights on how you did it?
Sure. So the deal is, Harshini, we started off small, right? This was the first time we were coming up with our own private label. So let's talk about product market fit first.
Right.
What we did was, we started off, today we have a large variety, but we started off with say 4 or 5 designs, small quantities, fewer colors of each design.
Okay.
We launched it online, and we saw what was the response, which colors were working, which weren't working, which designs worked, which didn't work. We also experimented across a few price points, and we saw what was working and what didn't.
Okay.
Starting small and experimenting across price points, across designs, across product categories. So we came up with less expensive backpacks, very expensive backpacks, same with suitcases.
Okay.
We saw what was the price point that was working, which was getting us the desired volumes.
Okay.
And that's how we latched on to the category and to at the price point that we currently cater to.
Okay.
So the formula we used was experiment across a few categories and see what works.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the main strategy there.
Right. You already have an experience in distribution and e-com before.
Correct.
Do you see that from when you started out in, let's say, 2017 to 2025, because of the lot of awareness started, and also because Shark Tank has been going on for 4 years now, and
Correct.
a lot of awareness about entrepreneurship, selling online has kind of boosted as well. So is there a difference right now from the time you started 2017 to the time of 2025 in marketplace advertising or marketing? Has something changed?
So what has changed, the thing is, performance marketing can take you only so far, right? Because competition has increased. Every keyword is getting more and more expensive.
Yeah.
The time or the importance of creating the brand is a lot more today, right? Like earlier you could just be a seller and succeed, but after you even reach a particular volume, Harshini, it becomes very important. A customer won't be buying a product anymore, they are buying into a brand.
Right.
So that consideration that you're doing, every launch is right for the brand, every word that you put out resonates with the brand, that becomes extremely important.
Your starting initial stages, were you sure that you wanted to just stick with website, or like you said, you again explored with marketplaces as well? What were the initial channels that you explored, and then you doubled down right now after your journey got a little, you kind of scaled up?
Okay. So we started off as only a digital player. We started off on Amazon, then grew to Flipkart, then we started focusing on our D2C website. Then came all the other marketplaces. So today I think we are available on over 13 marketplaces, be it a Nykaa, First Cry, and the likes really. But today Nasher Miles is a omni-channel brand in the truest sense. So offline we are available in over 1,300 stores.
Okay.
We are also, we've started our own exclusive brand outlets. We have about 3, another 3 are in the pipeline.
Right.
So in the truest sense, quick commerce is such a big platform today. So Nasher Miles is the market leader in luggage across the quick commerce platforms. So on a larger basis, we continue to hold to focus largely on the marketplaces, which is Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra for us, the larger 3 players. D2C, Harshini, in an industry like luggage always doesn't make sense because there's repeat behavior is contained, right? You won't buy a suitcase every 3 months, unfortunately. So, and D2C is an expensive medium because advertising on Google and Meta is a lot more expensive than advertising on the marketplaces. So, D2C, our play, we've decided to keep it limited because we want to run a profitable business also. We are sure about that.
Right.
But so quick commerce is one growing channel, and the third is obviously offline. Today, offline contributes to about 20-25% of our entire top line.
Got it. Has your positioning actually evolved over time? Positioning of your product from the time you started until now, has it evolved, or do you still follow the same positioning of a product?
So we've from the beginning been a mass premium brand. We are not extremely premium. However, with offline coming into play, we need to keep pushing our average order value for EBOs and all to make financial sense. So though our focus and say about 70% of our business will come from our bestsellers, which is in the mass premium range. We do have certain signature collections in the more premium category, which will be the focus when it comes to offline retail.
Got it.
Yeah.
I see a lot of Nasher Miles' ads on YouTube, and also I see you guys investing a little more effectively on marketing, especially in advertisements on social channels, etc. How are you able to manage the P&L and balancing of ads, making sure that the CAC is low, and then there's also ROAS is good? So how do you manage that performance marketing side of your brand?
Sure. So Harshini, when we started off, the focus was on performance, right? So 100% of our budget went on performance marketing, which is very, very ROAS driven, right? You can see where your bleed is happening, which campaign is not working, you stop it. But as your journey evolves, as you hit certain milestones in terms of revenue, we needed to start spending more on brand awareness also. Now, brand awareness is somewhere where ROI, ROAS becomes tough to manage. But that's a call we've taken where about, say, 30 to 40% of our marketing budget today will be spent on brand awareness, but and you will track it at an overall P&L level. You're not looking at it at a campaign level as much, right? And about 60%, 70% continues to be performance marketing, where our team's targets are all driven on how much sales, but sales with a certain ROAS, right? So we keep a very sharp eye on ROAS because profitability is key to us as a brand.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
For a brand that is starting out initially, how much of the percentage of its revenue should go into marketing according to experience? So,
see, the deal is every investor, in the long run, you need to run a solid business. You need to run a business which makes sense P&L wise, right? You have to hit profitability is the advice I would give to people. So in the first few years, even if you tend to spend more on marketing, we always had an outlook where we spend about 20-25% on marketing, and that's something we do till date. And even earlier it was there. And
from the beginning? Nice.
And there are a lot of brands which do spend a lot on marketing in the initial years, which is understandable. But I would suggest that always have an outlook of how that P&L will look, say, 4 or 5 years down the line. If in the beginning you've decided to spend more on marketing also, have that visibility when that burn will stop and when you will pivot to a smaller number where profitability starts happening, right? So don't get into this mindset. Even if you raise investor money, it is your responsibility to spend it responsibly, right? So always know when you will hit profitability and keep that eye on performance from the very beginning, because it's a tap. It can keep flowing. You won't realize where the burns are happening.
Do you have any interesting consumer insights that you got to know by the way people are shopping or by the way people are behaving or interacting with your brand that kind of blew your mind? Oh wow, and kind of also helped you tweak a little bit of strategy here and there?
Sure. So I think the biggest change which is happening in the country today is quick commerce, right? Who would have thought people would buy suitcases and they want it in 10 minutes? And that's the insight which is blowing our mind every day, because it continues to surprise us. So there are so many use cases on why customers want a suitcase and they want it in 10 minutes. The idea is there are customers who've told us they have an important flight, they look at their luggage and suddenly realize, say, the wheel is broken. And there's someone who's gone to Delhi and is shopping and they decide they want to stock up on, say, alcohol, and they need an extra bag to stock it and take it, and they realize they don't have it. That's where they need a suitcase. Or a family's decided that they want to travel after a long time. They've traveled, say, planned an international trip, and though they've started planning in advance, they realize that now they can get that suitcase in 10 minutes. So why wait for 2-3 days, or why wait to even step out to the local store, right? And the insights that we get from quick commerce is very interesting. Like there are these quick things which will sell things last minute, like a neck pillow or a luggage weighing scale. Packing cubes is something people are getting very interested in. Backpacks is a great gifting item, and a lot of time mothers are managing so many things. The gift for their child when he's going to a party comes to mind, and backpacks becomes an interesting gift, or kids' suitcases. So these are the insights, Harshini, which have really helped us expand our product range or pivot there. So we've come up with a lot of smaller travel accessories, which is quick commerce friendly. We are doubling down on backpacks in a larger way. It's not only for quick commerce, but it's a great playbook for quick commerce, because, you know, backpacks is something people would be okay buying on your quick commerce apps.
Got it. What are the strategies that you still follow to ensure you're doing market research and also analyze what your customers are looking for or wanting? Initial days, yes, normally what happens is brands initially will be so interested in market research to probably find that PMF, and then later what happens is we are too into the launch and into expanding that sometimes we think we know the customers when we actually don't. So how do you make sure you're still online with what your customers are looking for, what the market is demanding?
Correct. So actually the online marketplaces give you great insight into this. You get to look at keywords very closely, right? And there are lots of tools today out in the industry which help you do keyword mapping category wise very well. Also, what are the keywords customers are using while buying your competitor products? What are they using while buying your products? And generally, what are the keywords they are using at an industry level? So that honestly gives you great insight today. You also get to know who's buying from where. Then being omni-channel, Harshini, has been a boon, right? You have actually feet on the ground across the country in the smaller towns and where not. So we make it a practice where we founders at least spend a certain number of days out in the market talking to our retailers. That's where we get great insights from. And we also make it a practice to be part of the customer care team. So all of us, customer care obviously gets a lot of insights. They are talking to customers. We make it a point to spend time on the phone talking to customers and ensuring we do that every few for a few hours every month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Social media, we are coming to social media channel. I believe that a brand need not be everywhere on all social media channels. Just be there where most of your target audience is.
Sure.
Because sometimes we have a FOMO. Oh, what if I miss out on Instagram? Or what if I miss out YouTube? I need to be everywhere. So the question to you is, how are you strategizing your social media game, and which is the platform that is actually working really well for you?
Sure. So the deal is today, of course, you need to keep looking at which platforms are relevant to your audience.
Yeah.
You want to be where your audience is talking.
Yeah.
Now, Facebook is something which is somewhere phasing out from a market perspective. Instagram has become more relevant.
Yeah.
So that's a place we are. YouTube has become a great search tool.
Right.
So we create content for YouTube, or it's very interesting to actually create a little long form content. We put that on YouTube, we put the shorter versions out on Instagram. Snapchat is something which Gen Z is loving these days, right?
Yeah.
So Instagram was the millennial app, and Gen Z is again moving to Snapchat.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be the Gen Z app. So Snapchat is something which we are experimenting with to an extent, and I think we must be one of the fewer brands who are doing that. But that's one app we want to at least keep tracking to seeing what's happening.
Right.
So honestly, in the social media space, these are the main platforms. LinkedIn is actually becoming more and more relevant. People are spending more time on LinkedIn, and we also do a bit of advertising there. But founder marketing becomes very important
on
on
LinkedIn,
LinkedIn today.
yeah.
So we make it a point to update larger happenings on LinkedIn, and
Right.
you connect to the investor community there. You connect to a lot of suppliers there. So LinkedIn is also very relevant today.
Right. Today, when you're marketing a brand, which is D2C, how much of an importance does made in India, or something that is rooted out of your own culture, that kind of messaging, how much of a marketing push does that give?
So more than a marketing push, I feel it has to make business sense, right? Today, if a product can be made in your own country, I feel most companies in the country would want to do that. It just gives you greater control on your supply chain.
Yeah.
It gives you greater control on working capital. So more than marketing sense, Harshini, it has to make overall business sense. And obviously, in hindsight, then it becomes the right messaging from a marketing perspective also.
Yeah.
But that's the path we've taken at least. We started off as 100% out of China because that time India did not have the manufacturing ecosystem it does today. During COVID, thankfully, a lot of investment was made into manufacturing in the country.
Okay.
And today, we are very proud to say about 60-65% of our production happens in India, and we want to take it up to 85% by end of this financial year.
Wow.
That's what we are gunning towards, and we are working very closely with our suppliers to move together to the level of quality we want to give our customers.
Are you also experimenting with influencer marketing? Because I saw one of your reels with the Rebel Kid as well, and obviously you started out with your website, then marketplace, and then social media advertising, etc., etc., long form YouTube. Are you also experimenting with influencer marketing?
Influencer marketing is something you cannot escape today, right? They are the right brand ambassadors that there are out there today. And we, since a while, have been investing significantly into influencer marketing. And what we see is when we put out reels on Instagram also, the ones where we have collaborated with an influencer is the one which is getting more eyeballs, getting more shares, getting more comments, so getting more engagement really. So influencer marketing is extremely intrinsic to every brand today, I would say, and there's no escaping it. Yeah.
Do you normally focus mega influencers only, or are you also experimenting with micro level influencers as well?
Honestly, the attempt we try to make, Harshini, when we are choosing an influencer is, do they have an authentic and different form of content, right? So we don't want to we would rather not work with people who are putting very similar content out like the others. We want someone who has a unique storytelling style.
Right.
That's the pivot we are trying to make currently.
Okay.
So you have your own style of promoting the same product also, and we're not trying to hard sell, but we are trying to get the product to be integrated in their life, and we are hoping that's what comes out in our content also.
Okay. What is your take on the AR and VR experience on platforms like an Amazon or Flipkart? Because 3D models are obviously available for a fewer products right now. But the whole experience of not having to go to a shop or just viewing that image, but a AR VR version of it. What's your take on that?
So we have AR VR on our website also, where we have 3D models of our suitcases. I don't think it's a tool which the Indian customer is still extremely comfortable with, right? I feel it takes a larger bandwidth from an internet perspective. The loading time, even on my website, is a lot longer. So I feel it's still evolving, but it will be interesting to see how much customers use it. Right now, I have it on my website because it is a good experience to give the customer. But is it a game changer so far for at least luggage? I don't think so.
Right.
I feel the tools are still becoming sharper. The amount I'm investing into it, I will look at ROI at some point. I don't think it's giving me the ROI currently. So I'm doing it, say, only for my premium models, where I feel more touch and feel would be needed, because I am asking for a certain price, right?
What is your take on community building for a brand today? What is your strategy for, in a way that the content feels that it is serving the whatever the knows, or if I want to know something about the travel, or if I want to know something about what are the hacks that I can do to probably arrange my stuff in a very orderly fashion. So these type of content, plus how is it helping you build community?
Sure. So I feel till date we haven't put in the right effort, or again it's an investment, Harshini. Everything comes down to money to a large extent. We've not taken the right efforts to build a community, and it's something I've been working on very seriously this year.
Okay.
Right? So the idea is to talk to a few different cohorts. One is obviously your content creators who travel often. Students is another cohort I'm looking at very closely, and there's a lot of opportunity to work with students closely. And the idea, I'm working with different companies to help me crack these bits. We are looking to start with, say, a WhatsApp community, hold offline events, and also get this community of content creators who use Nasher Miles. I want them to give me product feedback on new launches. I want them to travel with the suitcases, create content. We want to give back to them in terms of, say, training on the right content to build, how to build that content, and like you're saying, what's the right way to travel, what's the right way to pack, what's the right way to also, say, plan a holiday and whatnot. So the attempts have started today for us to help build that community. I feel every user is ultimately part of your committee, but to communicate to a smaller cohort in that on a more regular basis is what we are starting to do this year onwards.
Okay.
But what we do, like you said, how we adding value, we do a lot of retention marketing. The deal with luggage is you're not buying luggage every day. You're not looking at your suitcase every day.
It's a low repeat category.
It is a low repeat category. So how do I add value or speak to my customer without bothering him or her? So the strategy we've used is using WhatsApp, and I will keep sending them these pieces of information on regular basis. So how to pack your suitcase, how to clean your suitcase, how to plan your next holiday, how to save up for a holiday, how to use credit card points for a holiday, how to stay fit on a holiday. So I don't want to be extremely intrusive to my customers, and I still want to add value in his or her life. So I use WhatsApp marketing as a retention tool for that.
Okay, amazing. So where is Nasher Miles headed? That'll be my last question for the main segment. Are you planning for a scaling, globally, or do you plan on releasing more designs, or there are any other experimentation that is happening inside the company?
So Nasher Miles as a brand, we want to make the Indian traveler more stylish. We want to elevate each one of your fashion quotient via luggage. So you will see us continue to do a lot of the things that we are doing. So we
One thing is, I saw from Nasher Miles' journey is that obviously you started with the colors and experimenting with the designs, but now you guys are moving more towards the comfortability part of the small zipper and this thing which is easier for us to open and then take the luggage, because that was one of the biggest concerns.
In hard luggage,
yeah, if you go to the airport and they say it's too heavy and you need to I have to open the entire suitcase and then remove things off. But I think you guys are moving more towards functionality. Yeah.
So see, functionality is obviously a given in most of our suitcases, and we do track global trends very closely in terms of what are the innovations happening in luggage. So you will see us innovating, but our DNA is color, variety, design, and I feel we will continue to be true to that for sure. And you will see a lot of new launches coming. Backpacks is something we are doubling down on. We are also looking at kids and doing interesting things there. So you'll hear things in the news shortly about that also.
Okay.
But we hope to see a lot more Nasher Miles out there and making your journeys more stylish.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you're expanding more on the product category wise.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. So we've come to the end of the main segment.
Okay.
Next up, I have the rapid fire questions for you.
Super.
So I am expecting rapid answers from you, which are very quirky as well. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll start.
Yes.
First question is bootstrapped freedom or VC funded scale?
VC funded scale.
Okay. Next one. What's the most overhyped D2C metric?
Repeat value.
Why do you think so?
Repeat purchase, because the deal is repeat is not a given for every industry, and the fact that you need to respect it and understand that it cannot be a given for an industry like luggage.
Yeah.
LTV and repeat purchase is not a metric you can track for, say, a luggage brand.
Okay, got it. Next question. Most underrated growth channel right now?
For us, at least as a brand, it is the offline segment, because it continues to surprise us every day, and that's where most of our learning is happening. But Nasher Miles' growth is going to come through the offline segment now.
Okay, wonderful. Next, if you had 10 lakhs for one day campaign, where would you spend it?
I would spend it on an interesting collaboration. I would work with the influencer. I would work with Urfi Javed. Yes. Okay. I've been waiting to do a campaign with her.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. Last question for the rapid fire. Biggest marketplace marketing myth sellers still believe?
That performance marketing will take you all the way. It doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't. You have to focus on brand.
Okay. So wonderful. We've come to the end of rapid fire segment.
Okay.
You're super rapid in answering all of those questions. So wonderfully done.
Thank you.
We will move on to our Have You Ever segment.
Okay.
Okay. So for the Have You Ever segment, I have 3 placards.
Okay.
So if you have done it, you can show a yes. If you haven't, then a no. And if you don't want to answer, there's an inverted smiley as well. Have you ever regretted a performance marketing campaign?
Every day, I think. You keep questioning it. So, always. At times, it becomes too salesy. You've called out the discount too strongly, which you don't want to do.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Have you ever thought, let's just do a rebrand?
We did a rebrand recently, so I don't think this is applicable, but today, no. I'm very I'm very excited about the journey our brand is taking, and
Right.
I'm super proud, and I'm very happy to see where I take it. So I don't want to rebrand.
Okay, got it. Next question. Have you ever tested an edgy or risky campaign that got surprising results?
Yes, we did a Pride campaign with Myntra recently.
Okay.
It was so interesting, and it's been on my dream to do an airport activation for very long.
Okay.
The Pride community obviously stands for color. They own their colors,
Yeah.
and Nasher Miles is all about color.
Yeah.
So we worked with people from the community. We helped them bring out their message of owning color.
Yeah.
And at the Goa airport with Myntra, we took over the conveyor belt. So
Nice.
we converted the conveyor belt into the Pride flag,
Okay.
and there was lovely Nasher Miles colorful luggage on the belt.
Okay.
So that campaign got a lot of positive feedback, and
Nice, nice.
I'm very proud to be part of it.
I can see it in the way you are excited when you're narrating the
Yes.
entire story. So wonderful. Okay. Next question. Have you ever created a piece of content just because a competitor did?
I'm sure I've done some Instagram trending reel because competition did it,
Did it,
but
okay.
it's not something we do very actively.
Right.
We want to stay true to who we are. So
okay.
I'm sure I took on some trend which was useless at some point, but yeah, thankfully it's not part of who we are. So
Okay.
we stay away from it.
Okay, got it. This will be the last question. Have you ever blown a monthly budget in 1 week for marketing?
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, at times when opportunities like say this Myntra campaign came about,
yeah.
you kind of tend to dip in a little deeper into the bucket, and you'll say, let's spend on larger brand awareness campaigns. So those are decisions we have taken.
Right.
And yeah, you don't always look at ROI. At times things happen for brand awareness.
Amazing. Okay. That wraps the entire episode along with the Have You Ever segment as well. So happy to have you here and share your thoughts in a very crisp and short manner. I'm very sure that whoever is seeing a marketer or also someone who wants to start out a brand for themselves would have so much learning to take from this episode.
Thank you, Harshini. I'm hoping I could have added value to at least a few people today. And it's been a pleasure talking to you. And once again, thank you to Zoho for hosting me and making everything so comfortable.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so
Shruti.
much.